bowing, and it's a great environment to be in, to see all these folks who are either signing letters of intent or very interested in buying or purchasing or leasing aircraft, a particular type of aircraft for whatever industry they're in, whether it be military or whether it be commercial aviation. Yeah, great to be here, and we've been invited basically by the folks at Embraer, so we're obviously going to do a little piece on them. KC-390 right behind us here. This is a newer one than the Brazilian Air Force one that we saw yesterday. This one flew in yesterday, apparently did a media flight and opened the back door. I think they were made aware of it anyway. Interesting. IAE engine, same as we see on the 320. Very interesting. Right, I'm going to get my ugly mug out of it, and we're just going to switch here. Flying displays start around about 1 o'clock, folks, so we've got about 25 minutes to burn here. But as you can see, we've got a lot of stuff lined up. First time since 2019, obviously, because of what happened with all that C word and all that kind of thing, that put a bit of a scupper on the works. Huge, massive shortage of aircraft and pilots around the world at the moment, so obviously the industry is trying desperately to make things better there. So included in the flying display later on, we've got the 777X, the Max, the Profit Hunter, the E195, this 390 here, which is a troop carrier, and it's very there's a lot of sort of like interest in this aircraft from armies and defence agencies around the world. I think I'm hearing that the latest interest has come from the Dutch armed forces for the 390. Interesting, like I said, obviously a highly modified version of the IAE engine, but that's it, folks. That's the same engine. What's that, GP? Okay. Good stuff. So that's a brand new aeroplane, we believe. So we're going to have a look on board that one in a little bit. Well, actually, probably not that one. That's the static aircraft. That's the one that's going to be flying, the one with the Brazilian Air Force that we saw earlier on. Obviously a very successful platform, something that Embraer are very happy about. This is a big successful platform as well. The Profit Hunter, the E195-E2. Of course, there is an E190 variant as well. This is the aircraft that they've been flying around the world, promoting this jet for quite some time now. 4 years in commercial service, and very successful as well. I have to say, having read everything about the Profit Hunter of the E2, it's gathering pace very rapidly. Lots of customers around the world. One in particular, which we're going to get onto later. We'll talk about all of their customers, powered by the Pratt & Whitney PW. I think it might be the 1500G, but we'll have to double check on that one. And let's have a closer look at her, because we've got 25 minutes, folks. We're going to burn a little bit of time having a look around this aircraft and possibly other ones as well. But as we discussed yesterday, incredible to see how advanced engines have become now, and the most advanced technology of it really is the fan blade technology. As you can see here, the core of the engine remaining more or less the same, but it is the fan blades themselves that have stretched and become bigger and lighter as well, of course, and less of them as well. Like we've seen with all other traditional style engines, you can't see right the way through the back of them, but you can obviously with these new type of high bypass turbo fans. Great engines to look at, great engines to listen to as well. Undercarriage, I think the E2 Profit Hunter, I think the E2 E195 has had an increase in width in terms of the positioning of the main strut of the undercarriage, as well as possibly the height of it as well, in order to allow for the ground clearance of these new bigger engines. When I say bigger engines, we're just talking about the fan casing itself. And you can see this is what we talk about when we talk about bypass, folks. This area here is how much air is bypassing the engine. Unlike in the past where it was very minimal bypass, this is now sort of like somewhere in the region of 70% of the air that's ingested into the engine. It goes through the bypass section here. Only around 30% of it is used for the power. It goes through the combustible part of the engine, if you see what I mean. The hot part, well, I say hot part, it's a cold part at the front end, hot part at the back. Yeah, very interesting how engines have developed in the last 5 or 6 years. And as we can see here, up into the undercarriage system. Kind of like very unique to Embraer is that system there, that rocker system there. It's a lot different to conventional setup that we'll look at later. But yeah, it's a beautiful piece of cast alloy braking system. She's got a range of around about 2,000 nautical miles, 41,000 feet. She'll carry up to around about 135 passengers in single class configuration. Obviously, she can be fitted out in different types of configuration with a business up front, economy, etc., etc. So it all depends on the airline and the carrier, which configuration they want. But obviously for high density routes, you'll see, if you look on Embraer's website, you'll see the customers that they have, and the interest that they have. Of course, conquering. I think it's North America now, isn't it? Is it not? Is it Canada? What was the? I need to just double check on my phone. We'll talk about it later when we see this thing displaying. It's going to be displaying around about 4 o'clock this afternoon. Look forward to that. But pretty cool livery on the Prophet Hunter as well. This is obviously their and that is one of the most noticeable pieces of this aircraft as well, is this raked wingtip, high performance wing. I think it's an all new wing as well, but these guys, we'll see it in the display later when you look at the profile of the wing. It's very different to the older type. And you can see that extension there, the raked tip. And I think because when we talk about the pylon and the engine itself hanging off the wing, as you can appreciate, the CF34 engine on the older aircraft is a lot smaller, and therefore you know, doesn't require as much strength on the pylon, because this is a much bigger engine. I wouldn't say it's heavier, but because of the components in it, lots of carbon fibre, lots of exotic componentry and materials being used in there. So, but obviously because it's a bigger engine, they have to redesign the way in which it hangs off the wing, and that is of course this part here, which is known as the pylon. So that's something that is all done in the wind tunnels as well. So let's have a little look at this KC-390, shall we, the troop carrier. Just have a look and see whether... We're hoping, folks, also to possibly go on board the jet at some point, just to see to sit there. Let's see. Oh, I don't think these guys are going to be going on. Yeah, I think they're going on. Yeah, so you've got to respect the fact that there are delegates on board the aircraft, potential buyers as well, or lease companies that are still a very popular aircraft, the older variant of the Embraer E1, the 195, 175, 170 with the smaller CF34 engine. And this, of course, let's just go and have a look and see if we can get on board. Keep me posted on the time, GP, yeah? In terms of the... okay. I want to kind of start... You're able to see stuff on radar, yeah? Lovely old jumbo jet there. Okay, we've got ADS-B on, folks, so we won't miss any displays. Of course, I was caught in traffic. Took my good mate Joe 2 hours to get here from the centre of Paris, so as you can appreciate, extremely busy roads coming into the air show. Fortunately, we've got all the area access passes, so we're able to stick our camera wherever we like, really. Let's just have a look here and see. Guys, I think we've got delegates on this one as well. It's what we've got to be aware of, folks, is that you know, lots of people on board, Defence Force delegates, but it's quite impressive inside the aircraft, got to say. Kind of what we've seen inside other troop carriers, and when I say troop carriers, it's more like a freighter inside, with the freight deck, which can be modified and changed to either troops or vehicles or whatever it might be. Even probably stick a small helicopter in there, really, depending on the, especially a little one like that. That's what that is. Crazy. A drone chopper, believe it or not. So, obviously, billions of dollars worth of orders and letters of intent is the LOIs are going to be floating all over the place. I did see something on French telly this morning. Qantas have done something. I don't know what it is, because all I saw was the word Qantas. I couldn't understand the rest of it. But as you can see, quite a big turnout of aircraft going to be displaying that JetBlue 321 a little bit later as well. Obviously, like I said, the MAX. We've got some fighter jets going up. I think the F-35 is going to be displaying as well. We've got some helicopters that are going to be displaying. Helicopters are pretty cool to watch, aren't they? Let's just have a little look down here. Riyadh Streamliner. They posted last night about apparently they've had another one painted. Riyadh. Okay, now have we missed our standby? Oh, really? It's going somewhere else, is it? It's going to somebody else? Let's just have a look here and see. We missed our slot. It's going again. Quite a lot of walking around. Okay, so these guys have just come off. We just have a quick. You good?
Let me just double check, okay?
Okay, yeah.
No worries.
All right. So we'll just double check the folks. Like I say, if you go on their website, there's a page, there's actually a website which is quite informative about the E195-E2 if you're interested. Potential I've flown on it, it's a comfortable ride, and okay, we're good, we're going on. So we'll just have a little look through. Thank you. A look across that wing as well, folks. You can see quite a lot of flex built into it as well, which you'll see later. High aspect ratio wing. Hey.
Hello.
How are you, sir? Nice to see you, Jerry, Big Jet TV.
Hello.
How are you doing?
Oh,
nice to see you.
Good.
You flying it today in the display, or
Yes.
yeah?
Yes.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Do you do the displays often, or is this your first time, or are you a display pilot?
No, I'm not the pilot that will do the display, but
Yeah.
the aircraft will.
Yes.
They're our test pilot that will fly.
Oh, the guy in the green uniform.
Yeah.
Yeah. You like flying the aircraft? Is it a lot different than the original 175 in terms of its flying capability and
In terms of performance, it's
yeah.
better,
Yes.
but it's pretty similar.
Yeah.
The operation.
Yeah. It's just the bottom line, what's written on the paper that matters in terms of its efficiency and fuel saving and so on and so forth. It's a beautiful
Range,
aircraft.
yeah.
Range. Yeah. It's
Speed,
got a yeah. Cool. Can we just look on the flight deck quick?
Yes.
Thanks, man. So there you go, folks. All glass cockpit. And that's what I've talked about with the Concorde style yoke on it.
How are you doing? Good. Nice to meet you.
So they will need to obviously plan the flying display. Obviously a lot different than what you normally have with a standard airport departure, etc.
Is it a live film? Yeah. How do I access your?
Big Jet TV. I'll give you a card before I go.
Okay.
Cool. Thank you. So it's a nice new cockpit compared to the 175, is it, in terms of the glass and the?
Yes, the E2 model. It's a newer one, right?
Yes.
There's some new functions.
Yeah.
Like the four.
The
big
bigger screens, yeah.
And some operational features.
Still the same control column.
Yes, but it's full fly-by-wire.
Yes. Awesome.
The E1, it's not full fly-by-wire.
Is it not?
No, the E1, it's not.
It still has some conventional flying.
For the ailerons.
Oh, really?
Yeah. But this one is full.
Okay, interesting.
Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you.
No problem.
So there you go. Business class, I'm guessing. Yeah, very nice. Nicely. I like that. That's pretty cool, isn't it? The way that's staggered like that. I don't think I've seen that on a single R jet before. That's very interesting, isn't it? Yeah. On a lot of other carriers, you'll see, and they're big seats, aren't they, as well? I mean, that's the benefit of having, instead of having 3 seats, you're allowed to. You obviously have a bigger seat, bigger, wider seat. Look how wide these seats are, man. Big, nice windows as well. Yeah, like I say, somewhere in the region of depending on the how the cabin layout. But yeah, nice seats. This is always a nice function when you can do that. Always helps. But what you've got to appreciate, folks, is when these seats are designed and developed, you have to appreciate the fact that this thing's going to be opened and closed multiple times in its lifetime. So components like that have to be easily removable quite easily. The headset system, it's nice, just a nice little touch, isn't it, for economy seat. Like that, man. Very comfy. Looks comfy. Big and roomy as well. This is the seat. This is the seat you want, isn't it? But look at that for thank you. Look at that for legroom. I have to say, I'm impressed. I mean, I've flown on it already myself, but it was quite some time ago. But I have to say that is a nice configuration, isn't it? Some other aircraft are 320. Is it 3? Anyway, other conventional single aisle jets have a more sort of like, you know, stuff them in kind of mentality, whereas these are a lot more roomy and less claustrophobic, I think you would say. But yeah, fantastic, absolutely fantastic. And like I say, I've got to say, this is brilliantly staggered business class, like that. Thank you. Thank you. Are you going to fly on the display, or are you just going to? Are you going to sit on the aircraft when it's displaying, or?
No, we will be on the ground.
You'll be on the ground,
so
yeah.
The other pilots, they will fly. We will be on the ground, watching.
In envy.
Huh?
In envy.
Yeah.
Thanks a lot. Take care. Thanks, Captain.
Thank you.
Take care. All the best. Cheers.
Where is your car?
Oh, you know what? That's a sticker. Yeah. Okay. You should find me on YouTube. Yeah.
Okay.
And you'll get yourself on there.
Take a look.
Thank you, sir. Cheers.
You.
Awesome. Always been nice and chatty, the Embraer team, I have to say. You know, when you're a big multi. Thank you.
Have a lovely
Cheers.
day.
Thank you. When you speak to, you know, bigger manufacturers, they're so wrapped up in themselves that they kind of like, you know, you don't get that sort of like personal sort of like one-to-one service like I've always had with the folks at Embraer. So you know, as a unit working for themselves, and like I say, this aircraft's only been in service, commercial service, for 4 years. The E2, that is. It is very impressive how many orders they've taken, how many aircraft they have put into service. Of course, many markets to tackle. This is the one that I flew on. I think a few of us actually have flown on the Helvetic E195-E2. Sorry. Cheers. Okay, let's get ourselves up on the flight deck. We've got 5 minutes, folks. I wouldn't imagine that we're going to be going straight into it at 1 o'clock, but I guess that we have to follow pretty strict protocol. Hey, up onto the flight deck.
Yeah.
Here's our man, Joe. Say hello, Joe.
Hello.
Okay, folks, we're going to keep the camera down now, just because we're going through a pretty sensitive area in terms of, like, you know, a lot of military guys. They are test pilots. I think that might be our test pilots over there. Oh, mind you, there's a few more over there in the corner there. Cool.
He has the badge. So we need to get. Okay.
Are we following? Yeah, come follow. Thank you. Just wanted to say hello.
Hello.
Love the channel.
Oh, thank you very
We
much.
watch in the office, so.
Oh, that's fantastic. Thank you so
You've
much.
just been on board the Embraer.
Yeah, 190. Yeah, 195. There's. What do you think of it? It's great, isn't it?
We've just bought 6 of them, so
Oh.
we're delivering them to Porter in in Canada. Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah, I
So
did
we
hear
worked-
about that. I did hear about that.
We worked
earlier on.
and
Congratulations. That
we
is fantastic.
We know their product well. We've got a lot of Embraer E1s. But
Oh, that's brilliant.
E195-E2 is that's a big step for us.
Yeah, it is, and it's a big step the aircraft as well, isn't it?
It
You
is,
know, in
it's
terms of
great.
its efficiency, its
Yeah.
range. You know.
Did you find the right person on board to help you with all of that? Because the guys at Embraer were a bit concerned. Sorry, this is Ollie from...
Hey Ollie,
Embraer.
how you doing? Nice to meet you. Nice to meet you.
So he was trying to call you. We was actually live streaming it. We were sitting upstairs having lunch. with
Oh,
him,
really?
And we saw the feed, and he wanted to make sure you got the right man.
Yeah, well,
Come and talk to you
I
there.
think we conveyed most of the information across correctly in terms of.
Looking at the chairs and
yeah.
how comfortable the cabin is and the interior.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, thanks for
Yeah.
coming to the chalet, and I hope you can enjoy some time here. So.
Oh yeah, we will, man. We will. But listen, thank you so much.
Very
and,
nice to meet you,
Congratulations on
Thank you.
your new order. And what I actually spoke to Joe about potentially coming out and doing some delivery flights as well. So
really?
maybe
Oh.
we could cover the Porter E2,
One of the Porter
the
deliveries.
delivery flight. Yeah, that would be pretty cool.
Absolutely. Hi, nice to meet you, Joe from Gravity.
Mike,
nice to
Mike
meet you.
from
Yeah.
True Nord. Very nice to
Yes.
meet you. Yeah.
Yeah, Joe was telling me about the Porter order earlier. So
Yeah, yeah.
you know, it's very, very.
It's absolutely fresh. Yeah.
Yeah.
I've got a very sort of unique connection with Porter. A former boss of mine.
Yes.
I come from South Africa. So
I thought I heard
you
the twang.
that,
Yeah.
So he was my MD at the company I worked for in South Africa. He actually came after being an MD, stepped back into line flying because he wanted to emigrate with his family.
Right.
He went to Canada, he joined a very small Beach 1900 umbrella.
Right.
And the last month I contacted him to wish him well for his work. He said, "You won't believe it, I'm moving to Toronto. I'm just doing my rating on the E2.
No.
And I said to him, fantastic, you're going to fly one of my aeroplanes
Oh,
soon."
that is
and I
fantastic.
sent
What a
him,
great-
sent him video.
Like
So-
coming back together
Exactly,
again.
exactly.
Well, maybe if he's involved in that delivery
little story,
flight, that
yeah.
would be a great little story. Yeah.
Maybe we should.
We should do that.
establish
I
one.
will-
You've got
I
my
will-
card, yeah?
yes,
Reach
yes,
out to
I
me,
will-
see if we, with the guys, with the help of Embraer, we can see
Yeah,
what we can do.
yeah. I've got lots of cards upstairs as well, so I'll hook back with you later on. So I'll give you my card.
Thank you. Really,
Awesome.
It's a delight to meet you.
Lovely to
Great
meet you.
job.
too.
Yeah.
Thank you very much indeed.
Great job.
Congratulations.
We love
See you later. Cheers. All the best. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, here we go. Thanks.
Enjoy your night.
Thanks a lot. Okay. Wow, there we go. It's the airline I was trying to. There you go, Porter. Thank you. Breaking into the north, you know, the Canadian market. That's great news, isn't it? Of course, you know. Hey, here he is. Okay. Okay, folks. Here's our location on the flight deck. Okay, GP, everything all right? Okay, stand by. To check the cooling fan. Okay, looks like that's our. Right, I need to. Looks like that's our first one. Meter. Right, folks, can you bear with me for 2 minutes? We will. I will see some tails there. Just got those tails there. Look at that off in the distance. There's an ATR 72. It's the freighter, isn't it? That's the other thing that we wanted to discuss was the freighter variant. They have, I think it's a, let me just double check that. GP, stand by folks. Oh, is it? Oh.
Monsieur le Président, Mesdames et Messieurs, nous souhaitons la bienvenue.
Okay, okay.
Salon international de l'aéronautique et de l'espace. C'est aujourd'hui.
No, there was no sort of like, you know,
Mr.
stipulation as to...
President, ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to welcome you to the 94th Paris.
Oh, okay. Well, should we just do,
Dans
would it be a nice thing to sort of like
le début des démonstrations en vol
get that shot?
et pour l'introduction de cette présentation qui va être
Or,
la première de la série de cette
I don't
journée.
Anyway, yeah. Right, let me just...
On va s'imaginer le monde tel qu'il était avant. C'est-à-dire que lorsque on avait des idées qui nous paraissaient saugrenues, eh bien on s'est rendu compte que parfois ces idées qui paraissaient folles ont trouvé des applications tellement concrètes qu'aujourd'hui elles font partie de notre quotidien. Ça va être le cas de Volocopter, cette entreprise qui a été créée en 2010. En 2014 et 2015, une levée de fonds et très rapidement, Volocopter, c'est plus de 500 employés qui vont travailler sur 3 grands projets, à savoir un taxi volant, le drone du travail aérien et le drone de longue distance pour transport de passagers. Le modèle qui va vous être présenté dans 1 minute, aujourd'hui se résume en 4 chiffres, 500 kg, 8 mètres de diamètre, 18 moteurs contre-rotatifs et 9 batteries. Si ce volocoptère est certifié, le modèle abouti lui fera 1 tonne. 1 tonne pour 20 km de distance, soit un aller-retour de 2 fois 10 km et ensuite on procède directement à l'échange de batteries qui elles vont être rechargées pendant que les nouvelles sont mises à bord. Cet aéronef ne se pilote pas comme un hélicoptère, il ne faut pas le confondre avec un hélicoptère puisqu'il se pilote avec un simple manche et à terme il deviendra un drone et là sans pilote. La certification vise aujourd'hui un marché européen et évidemment un marché américain. Paul Stone, c'est le démonstrateur de ce volocoptère, un pilote d'essai absolument hors norme. Puisqu'il a piloté plus de 200 avions différents, dont les prototypes qui ont abouti au F-35. Le futur est donc en route et le but même de l'aéronautique, pour un pilote comme pour un industriel, c'est de regarder au-delà de l'horizon et d'être dans l'anticipation permanente. Un volocoptère qui va être utile notamment pour du médical, de l'urgence, ça c'est en premier, c'est là-dessus que le travail se fait. 65 décibels en vol, 75 de décollage, autrement dit quasiment. En deuxième futur, c'est la logistique. Et puis bien évidemment le transport de passagers, c'est le troisième volet de ce EVTOL. Apprenez ce mot, EVTOL, nouveau type d'aéronef, nouveau type de transport, l'avenir du déplacement.
You just said 30 minutes earlier, which is just see it towing.
Right, yeah.
20. Oh, that's funny. Yeah.
Si depuis quelques années on a parlé de décarbonation, c'est à juste titre pour la préservation de la planète et il est vrai que tous les industriels ici.
Okay, I'll tell you what we could do. We could read out some comments. How about that? That'd be pretty cool. Say hello to a few people before the display starts. Yeah, what about that, folks? You heard it first on Big Jet TV. So you heard it first, folks. Porter Airlines officially announcing the E2 orders, which is great news. And we're going to see if we can perhaps cover one of those deliveries, one of those delivery flights. That would be pretty cool, wouldn't it? And especially as they're the Canadians, and we love the Canadians. Great bunch of people, except for the fact that he's from South Africa. But anyway, and a great story behind it as well, with his mate as well. He's meeting up with his mate, and it turns out that his mate's going to be flying with Porter as well. So that's great news. So lovely to meet all those guys. Fans of the channel as well, can you believe it? Calling you back, GP. I'll tell you what, I was actually linked up to the Gold Hawk Road. Announcements remind me of French lessons from 1976. Okay, I know what you're talking about. I was absolutely useless at French, folks. I'll be honest with you. Absolutely blooming useless. Le Ballet Rouge, John Paul, etc., etc. But that's about it. John Key, Gary Pitt. Huge new members that I'm seeing have signed up today, folks. Okay, I've got it. Okay, we'll cover that. Jeffrey Primus, good morning from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Kevin Breen's tuning in from Ohio. Stephen Billings, are you going to shoot the display from there? Yes, we are, Stephen. Again, got to say a big thank you to Joe Lethridge and all the team at Gravity, and for setting it all up for us, and of course these wonderful people here at Embraer, like a more family community. Obviously, you know, I have kind of worked with other manufacturers, but I have to say, you know, whenever I've dealt with these guys, they're very welcoming, very, you know, just very welcoming. Great bunch of people. Nick Gray, looks like the arrival stat for Charles de Gaulle is visible in the background. It is. Tony Duty, great day to watch an air show. Lee Redmond, chopper is off. Is it broken? Yeah. Oh, hello, look at this. Now, this is quite interesting. Now, this is the future of flight, folks. This is all electric, ladies and gents. So we're not going to hear anything. E-powered helicopter, multi-engined, I think. Not just a singular engine, but multi-engined. Crazy, isn't it?
Since the beginning of time.
Thanks, Joe.
So
we've got a bit of a heat haze, haven't we? I'll tell you what, I should have bought the... Might get a bit of a funky show, folks, if this guy climbs any higher. So anybody, obviously a rotary, but it is just a start. It is the start. It is the future. When's the last time we saw something like this fine, folks? We didn't do it. This is the Volocopter, like it. Yeah. First time we've ever seen anything like this. Could get funky. Could get funky. Yeah. Emirates 380 in the backdrop. Yeah, yeah. Oh, GP. Music.
Certification is meant to enter both American and European markets. It shall fly commercially over Paris in only 1 year.
Like I said the other day, it was quite interesting that watching sports, watching e-powered sports is always a little bit sort of like, you know, if you're a traditionalist like me, I like to hear the sounds of engines. Got to give it credit though, man. It's pretty impressive, isn't it? So obviously, all rotors are independently powered, but probably off a central power thruster or whatever it might be. Obviously, there's no rear rotor. It's pretty impressive, isn't it? Fun little thing. Oh yeah, I'm sure there's somebody in it.
Le vol de ce volocoptère sera volontairement établi entre 500 et 1000 pieds.
Excellent, I like that. 3 throttle settings: blend, puree and frappe. Fantastic. Whoever said that, very clever. Very clever. Steve S. It's a bit of a shame about that mast there. But hey, what would Big Jet TV be without a big thing in the way? I guess they're not able to sort of like chuck this thing around the sky just yet. Is it? There's got to be someone in there. Yeah, there he is. He's moving his hand, or her hand. They're moving their hand. Yeah, yeah. It's got to be a crazy thing to fly, hasn't it? Okay. It is definitely the future. Embraer actually working for hydrogen-powered stuff in the future. Seen a sort of like blueprint or you know, prototype of a potential rear-engine mounted aircraft with a fuel cell technology. I think that's the way that they're pushing the market now. Fuel cell technology, hydrogen mixed with air, creating an electrical charge and therefore power. But also, what was very interesting, I read up last night. Apparently, there's is it an organism or I'll find it. But apparently, there's an organism that it can feed off of hydrogen and doesn't need food. Was it an organism or? Let me just have a little look here. Hold on a minute. While you sort of like have a look down there. Bit of a shame we don't have a flight line to look down, but.
L'avion du futur, il a été imaginé il y a quelques temps déjà, et aujourd'hui, eh bien, au décollage, le pipistrelle Vélis électro.
Wow. Okay. So my phone is. Lots of people love it. Okay. Let me check. VC200 Velox.
Et maintenant, nous partons dans les
This little aeroplane.
On imagine l'aviation
Cool,
qui
c'est ça,
a
Yann.
son objectif de neutralité
Passe au
carbone
passe.
tout à l'heure. Eh bien, l'avion qui se présente là, c'est le Vélis électro. C'est le premier avion électrique qui a été certifié au MED. Mais revenons rapidement sur la saga qui a permis à ce Vélis électro de prendre son nom. C'est en 2014. Il s'appelle Jean-Luc Charles. Il est président de la Fédération française aéronautique.
Yeah, electricity from thin air. An enzyme. Is it obviously a nearer and a further runway at CDG, isn't it? See that? I can't believe you see it. Crazy. Wow, that was a bit of a funky shot we missed out on there. Yeah, of course. Ice creams, choc ices, peanuts, get them while they're on. It's a proper fairground type transportation, isn't it? Yeah, wow. So a big shout out to all the folks from Porter Airlines and Embraer as well. There was a whole lineup of is this a display aircraft? Is this another electric display? I can find it. There it is.
Une évaluation complète de l'avion électrique en conditions réelles d'exploitation. Alors, ce projet d'exploitation effective d'un avion école électrique va retenir.
It is electric. It's another electrically powered
AVP
aircraft.
Air France KLM Industrie. et également aux acteurs majeurs de l'aéronautique au sein du projet. C'était en 2019. Et donc en juin 2020, l'Alpha Electro est certifié par le
Yeah, they've introduced the first driverless taxi, haven't they, in the UK? Is it? Tried and tested. Call it up, get in. Bit like that. Like, oh, easy, son, easy. Oh, okay, that's purposeful. I've been caught by a massive fair play. Is he rehearsing for a London Heathrow show or something?
et parcourir environ 140 km en emportant 182 km. Mais il assure la condition. L'école de début, l'école d'entraînement en tour de piste, à la charge des batteries va prendre 50 minutes. Mais on a
Yeah, an enzyme that can draw an enzyme from mud particles. So you have to read it, folks, but enzyme from bacteria can extract energy from hydrogen in the atmosphere. And this extraction is like billions of tons over a period of a year. Quite impressive, really. This guy's coming pretty hot, isn't he?
From the level B, that is electro.
So one thing about an electric motor is it's got a tremendous amount of torque, especially at low end. So I wonder what it's like for a pilot to no sound whatsoever other than the rush of air.
But performance here, the aircraft can reach a speed of 180 km/h.
Sound.
Altitude of almost 400 meters.
That must be something going out of CDG, I'd imagine. Is it? Over the top of me? So, going to do a quick vertical check, GP. Yeah, we're good. This is obviously not a display aircraft. I'd imagine that is a. This is.
planeur solaire expérimental des ailes pour la planète. C'est le nom que souhaite absolument donner
A400M parked up down there.
même s'il lui a donné également le nom de
Okay,
sol Lex.
moving.
Rappelez que les vélos sur
I
lesquels
think that's going to cross the active and move up to the intersecting runway.
l'aérologie
It's obviously is a
le solaire.
private airfield here at Le Bourget, I think.
La machine à se baser sur un mix d'énergie pour fonctionner avec des énergies naturelles qui plus
Sheds again.
Jean-Baptiste Loiselet, c'est son concepteur, il est ingénieur, généraliste, il a réalisé durant l'été 2022 un Tour de France avec zéro impact en totalisant 2600 km de vol d'oiseau en 17 étapes. Il n'a utilisé que du vent et du soleil. Sur les ailes, quand il a un jour appris à piloter, c'était sur le tard, il pouvait absolument se déplacer, il découvre le planeur, il se rend
Okay, next up now, I have got a. I sent you that. Printout, didn't I, Jelly?
et là il se dit,
Or
je vais mettre sur ces
image
ailes
of
des
the.
panneaux solaires et il décide
What
d'acheter
have we got next?
la seule condition, c'est que le
Ah, I see a helicopter. I see a helicopter. Did I not send it? Yeah, that is definitely.
Ces panneaux solaires, il va rigidifier l'ensemble parce qu'il ne faut pas que les panneaux se plient de trop et à partir de là, eh bien on a un avion planeur, un moteur qui est à l'avance, on regarde le nez du planeur, il y a un moteur électrique et ce moteur électrique va avoir des batteries qui vont être rechargées par ces panneaux solaires.
Jeffrey Proms, if I have the right information, the Volocopter starts at just 99,000 US in Pittsburgh. That's worth. Wow, yeah, 99 grand. That's definitely a good price, isn't it? The Volocopter. That's the sort of thing that if you downscale it, I guess you could fly it out of your garden, couldn't you? But it's all about having you still have to have a private. You have to have a PPL, don't you? I guess. And also airspace is, you know, you can't just lift off and. But hey, if you've got a PPL and you've got somewhere to store it, 99 grand. That's pretty damn good. You know, when you think of.
C'est donc un bel exemple d'engagement personnel parce que Jean-Baptiste a mis sur la table 15 ans de ses économies, sa carrière professionnelle et son stabilité psychologique comme une
Impressive.
mais aussi d'engagement en faveur de l'humanité durable. Mesdames, Messieurs, au décollage, le SAX.
It looks like this thing's ready to go. Single pilot operation for airlines will probably be standard by the end of the decade. Gold Hawk wrote. I don't like to sort of like, you know, have that kind of discussion because it's crazy. You know, you have to have a backup pilot. I don't want to keep going through all of this. Boeing have completely drawn themselves away from this whole pilotless venture, both for freighters and for any type of aircraft being. We did have a little bit of a joke about it earlier on about, you know, Siri and all that kind of thing. But in all seriousness, it's a ridiculous idea. I think it's something that somebody started and then it sort of like grew pace, as is the typical way on social media, you know, like. But to be perfectly honest with you, it's something that I can never see happening. Until way into the future. You know, I mean, I know somebody might say, you know, well, hold on a minute, you've just been talking about a pilotless, a driverless taxi. Well, yeah, but there's different things to consider with that. Is that firstly, I think the taxi system, that pilotless taxi system, has a grid to work with, you know, within a grid pattern, and if it obviously moves out of that grid, it stops operating. You know, if it sways out of the grid pattern, then it'll then the systems will shut the engine down.
This is how we install solar panels to the wings, connected them to the batteries.
What's that, GP?
To a little electric engine. This is how we just took out by himself. This white follows a certain philosophy.
Cat. Is this the French version of Farnborough? Well, yeah. I mean, Farnborough's the British version of this, isn't it? You know, you've got air shows. Yeah, this is. I think this is bigger than Farnborough. But anyone, people will argue it, and understandably so. But you know, it's combined trade. Obviously, as you can see, all the major manufacturers here. If you were with us yesterday, you will see. We had a very brief look through some of the halls there, or one of the halls, but it is very interesting to you know, you need to appreciate that this isn't just a public air show. This is a trade show, 3 days of trade, where delegates from around the world, defence ministers and so on and so forth will, from the Army and the Air Force, the Navy, and so on and so forth, will come in and see what's available, and obviously be invited by the manufacturers to come and have a look first hand at what they can offer, and that Porter order that we were talking about just now with Embraer is a perfect example of the kind of things where hands are being shaken and officially announced. So that's great for the likes of Embraer. I hear that you know, Airbus will be probably signing multiple orders as well. But I think it's great for a manufacturer like Embraer to be you know, showing so much strength in the marketplace, in a very, very sort of like competitive marketplace. I think that's a, I don't know what the power is of that. It's, not sure how much, you know, because the wing of an aircraft needs to work with the engine, doesn't it? You know, the dynamics, the aerodynamics of the aircraft. And when you have a highly efficient wing and a highly efficient engine, you're gonna, you know, break through a lot of barriers and increase the efficiency of an aircraft 10, 20, 30, 40-fold, if not more. I think I was wrong yesterday in saying that the E2 was 60% quieter than its predecessor. It's actually 70% quieter. And of course, far more efficient, got more range, got more speed, better aircraft to fly. And I have to say, I love that layout inside. The cabin is it's almost like a private jet in a funny sort of way, because of the fact that you get so much space in there, legroom and width as well. Charging on hold. Interesting. Okay, that's because of the Christopher Siddle, T129 attack. He believes that helicopter is that's fired up down there. It's sort of like a glider. It's just.
Dénommé HAD pour appui et destruction. Il est présenté en version armée par un équipage du Gamstat.
Here we go, here we go. Okay.
Le Gamstat,
A little bit of noise now, folks. Here we go.
de pilotes d'essai de l'aviation légère de terre. Elle est chargée de tester tous les matériels mis à disposition des équipages et puis teste et bien
Attack helicopter.
chaussures du pilote en passant par les tablettes informatiques, l'armement, l'électronique de bord, tout ce qui va être utilisé par les pilotes va être testé par le Gamstat. Et donc à l'avant, deux officiers sont devenus pilotes d'essai. En place, pilote de commandant David, et puis derrière, juste derrière, en hauteur, le capitaine Kevin, il est en place du chef de bord.
So is this one of the ones where the pilot sits up front and the armour, the arms? Yeah, I think it is. Or is the pilot up front? Weapons controller, Wizzo. They call him a Wizzo.
Cet hélicoptère ultra moderne est équipé du casque Top Hall qui permet d'utiliser tous les armements du Tigre avec une précision redoutable, uniquement en alignant les informations dans la visière, les informations de la cellule à 1,5 km. Eh bien, c'est une pièce de 10 centimes. Le système permet de gagner bien sûr de précieuses millisecondes réflexes lors du
Weapons officer. There we go, 17th Mustang. Thank you.
hélicoptère conçu pour le combat aérien. Comme des avions de chasse, et vous allez voir tout à l'heure les évolutions qu'il va faire. C'est un excellent pilote, la puissance de feu, l'agilité, la performance, la protection également de l'équipage et si vous avez besoin, eh bien une pause rapide d'abodage, en addition. Fer de lance de l'aérocombat français, le Tigre est déployé sans discontinuer maintenant depuis 2009 sur tous les théâtres d'opération. Et pour avoir réalisé chacun, les deux pilotes de chacun 4 campagnes, eh bien les deux pilotes confirment l'adage qui dit pas une seule opération sans la présence du Tigre. Mesdames, messieurs, faites aucun discours. Une belle démonstration. Des missions différentes selon les hélicoptères. Je vous le rappelle, à ne pas confondre avec le volocoptère dont Aéroport de Paris est partenaire.
I think I might switch cameras out,
On gère les aéroports ici, de nombreuses innovations. Après le Tigre, le NH90, qui va être présenté dans quelques instants.
Because we have another chopper transporter, not doing it, GP.
Le prochain hélicoptère de présentation, on l'appelle NH90, on parlera de NH, parce que NH Industrie a été le constructeur de cet hélicoptère, auquel on donne un autre nom d'animal, le caillou. Le NH90, c'est un hélicoptère probablement le plus polyvalent en termes de mission. Il a été conçu et construit sous l'égide d'un consortium. Ce consortium NH Industrie va réunir les compétences de Airbus hélicoptère
L'hélicoptère.
Il s'agit donc d'un hélicoptère véritablement européen.
Voilà.
Aux commandes de cet hélicoptère qui nous permet de faire cette démonstration, Capitaine Clément. Il a 2900 heures de vol, il en a 700 en territoire hostile. En 14 ans, il sera quasiment sur toutes les missions, au secours, hélicoptère national pour des missions interalliées. Il y a un commandant de bord, c'est le lieutenant.
Switching now, JP. Switching now.
3000 heures de vol.
1, 2, 3. Switching now.
Et lui-même également. En 2020, il totalise lui aussi 2400 heures. Révolutionner la manière d'un hélicoptère qui aujourd'hui n'a plus rien à
Come back on.
dans l'équipement à l'intérieur.
Okay, she's moving.
Ce NH90 désormais connu
How quick was
sous
that?
le nom de Caïman, c'est un hélicoptère biturbine.
L'hélicoptère.
Et sa mission principale, c'est le transport tactique de personnel ou de matériel stable de 2 tonnes et demi transportées.
So this is a troop transporter, I think.
Présenté par l'aviation légère de l'armée de terre, il est piloté par un équipage
Or transport de la troupe. Maybe, I don't know. It's a
de turbines RTL 322 de 2600 chevaux chacun et qui entraîne bien évidemment le moteur principal qui fait 16 mètres de diamètre. 11 tonnes, 4 tonnes de charge, le pilotage LTO, particularité des casques lumineux de contrôle qui veille, c'est qui se calme sur l'électronique embarquée afin d'obtenir toutes les informations directement à la personne. Une caméra infrarouge efficace par pilotage permet d'assurer la mission. Les conditions météorologiques ne le perturbent pas puisque grâce à sa vision à travers le casque, il y a l'information. Ce dernier appareil doté de série de volets électriques possède une intelligence de manœuvre avec un niveau de sécurité très élevé. Le Caïman est deux versions, la version TTH et la version NFH pour Navy Frigate hélicoptère, c'est la Marine nationale. Il est engagé en opération extérieure depuis 2014, notamment dans le cadre de l'opération Ansel au sein et également sur le territoire national. Cela vous permet de la mission des transports sanitaires dans le cadre de une mission de soutien aux populations suite à la tempête de c'était en 1976. Il équipera également les forces spéciales de l'armée de terre avec une autre version dédiée qui s'appelle le TFRA, standard et
jet star. I'm hearing a jet star. Oh, it's a helicopter. Flying time, 300k per hour.
If it gets too hot,
straight on to the next one.
C'est le cas de Airbus hélicoptère avec le H160. Ce nouvel hélicoptère européen qui a intégré l'aéronautique, des voilures tombantes. Ce moteur ne prévoit qu'un roulage de droit et des fleurons de l'entreprise en présente d'innovation et de décarbonisation, puisqu'il intègre pas moins de 60 unités technologiques. D'abord, cet hélicoptère s'est initialement développé par le passagers, et s'est installé dans une équipe puisqu'il était capable de franchir une distance de 800 km. Chaque version d'Airbus hélicoptère peut avoir poussé
Interesting blade tip.
Yes, we did actually.
He's done. See, lined up far end of the field. 320. Funny that fencing is. I was quite surprised that that is in action. Should I maybe raise her up a little bit? XL, isn't it? Is it XLR? Neo? Extra long range. Okay. Interestingly, yeah, they're going to use this runway. That's pretty cool.
Mesdames et messieurs, dans quelques instants, décollage Airbus encore un. Mais cette fois-ci, c'est un avion, c'est Airbus A321XLR.
Extra long. Only difference in it, really, folks, is just fuel tanks.
Le 321XLR, c'est extra long, qui désigne, comme vous l'avez compris, un avion à très longue vie en action. Au sein du catalogue Airbus, cet avion de ligne va proposer aux compagnies aériennes une souplesse d'exploitation inédite et phénoménale, puisque l'avion comprend des avions qui les développés hors
1,700 miles, wow. That's some serious range, isn't it? Thanks, Russ. Yeah, long flight on an narrow body. Doesn't float everyone's boat, does it? Like we said before, it really does all depend on the. It really does all depend on the cabin layout. If I'll be honest with you, you've got cabin layout, anything like that E190-E2, 195-E2 that we were on. I wouldn't be too bothered. Especially as it's 2-seat configuration as opposed to 3-3. Blimey.
Landing gear down, yeah.
L'exploitation aérienne commerciale est un secteur d'activité où la saisonnalité peut appliquer des variations de remplissage des distances.
All these jets capable now flying on 100% SAF, but just don't have the capability in terms of the availability of the amount of fuel. biofuel, should I say. Dirty configuration. Feel that speed pick up as soon as that gears up.
This model was launched in June 2019. It has an extra long range of 4,750 miles. That makes
Still run. Impressive, that is. Right on the envelope for stall speed. Get a bit of stick shaker. Stall, stall, stall.
Connecting the networks either primary or secondary might be a huge business opportunity for airlines. These facilities also provide better fuel capacity and a reinforced accepting a higher maximum takeoff weight. In a single class configuration, this capacity is set to 240 people. Better range, better performances, better seat capacity, but also better comfort for the passengers. Whatever the destination might be, everything will be done to offer the best of experience.
ATR's APU starting, I think. It's a FedEx ATR 72 freighter, I think. This is going to be nice. Slow fly past. Where's he landing it? He's landing it. That thing has been everywhere. Cold weather testing, hot weather testing. Now the big competitor. See the 390 lining up. Well, you will be in a bit. Downwind landing, yes indeed. Specially built module in the belly. For what would that be? For what would that be? Specially built module. David. Valve K20. DJ Celtus or Keltus? Yes, there are fighter jets today. F-35, I believe. David Skipsey, no 380 today, David. Stuart Watson, cold light here. Had a crazy rainstorm yesterday afternoon, folks, which blew a few windows out as it happens. I was off the site by then, but yeah, short-lived, but very, very aggressive, intense rainstorm. Falcon. Still going to get copyright, I mean, these old songs. The Viennese waltz. I can't see Ludwig van Beethoven coming knocking on the door. What power plant this one's using, bowlers or Wow.
Reduce the CO2 emission reservoirs are right now using 30% sustainable aviation fuel. 6x would be able to use
FedEx ATR freighter.
This experience, A321 XLR's extra fuel tank was added to the underside aft fuselage. There we go. Wow. Tank is reinforced to reduce fire risk from a belly landing.
I imagine it probably is. Lovely display of aircraft behind that lot, isn't there? Lovely old DC-8 Caravelle in the background there. Lovely, proper retro Air France
Yes, I'm still waiting.
jets there, proper classics. Jurassics. So this is ATR's latest entry into the freight market. Literally just a modified 72, is it? 72,
With the
sitting at the end of the runway that's out of my shot. Oh, this is a little fighter jet. Hello. FedEx ATR is at the opposite end of that runway. Okay, get ready for some intense action, folks. Whether this guy's going to take off and then go off somewhere and circle while the ATR does his display. I don't know, but we'll soon find out who's going to go first. This is the guy that was displaying earlier on. Power up. Oh, mate. Watch the planes. Music. Music. Didn't hear any of that, Julie. I didn't hear. Oh, what is the? Oh, oh, are you serious? Oh. Okay, so what's the deal? What's the deal? Oh, okay. Is it? So we've had none of that displayed then? Didn't get any of that displayed. What is it doing now? And I don't even want to look at the chat. Oh, that's serious. So that's Is it what? It's not about making millions of people. Right, is that? How much of that? How much of that? So basically the whole of it. So basically the whole of it. You think saying it's amazing, it's good, so we've got some of it, Yeah.
It's all good.
Just
connected. Everyone's no one.
Well, hearing that it was right at the end of it went off. So, thanks, Joe. Oh my God, you're joking. Audio on, audio on, audio on.
Audio on. Audio on.
I'm glad you did though.
Report back, report back.
It's on the
I sing in places in the world, so I don't know. I walked in, I saw the bar, remember? The bar was so packed. Smelled like human. And then she walked in, it's okay. Then I went to my room. I had a screw up in the back. First time. I walked into my room.
Always.
Mildew. I went downstairs. South, I'm sure because I knew it. Going this poor guy was left so much beer, so little.
Try to balance that. It's a good business.
Wouldn't you freight on that, would you?
No, that's it. Take his drink. But the next room is excellent. Nice and clean. Sleep. Next day I had a great day. We don't want to hold you up there. Thank you. So you live in Florida.
We do have flight reporters now. Got the annual flight reporters, engineering, and Air Academy. Once a month.
These guys. Sir, yes, sir.
Good luck with the Somebody's gotta come. We should go to the next location. Maybe in an hour, but at least a show.
Wow. Oh, what a life, eh? Test pilot. Slinging things like that around the sky. Unhitch the 7X. Stall capabilities, short takeoff and landing. Great for feeder operations. Awesome. Thanks, mate. Under her own steam now. Taxi. No. I don't know actually, to be honest with you. No. Max is lined up at the other side of the airfield, but this guy's taxiing all the way down to the far end of this runway. Wow, look at the APU on the KC-390, man. How cool is that? Straight up. Yeah. Just don't want to miss in case they extend those winglets. Liebherr are the manufacturers of the components that operate those folding winglets. Ah, he's going to go and line up down behind the Max, I think. Yeah, Max 10, isn't it? Yeah, Mark B. It is an awesome APU, isn't it? At the top of that 390. Love that. Look at that. I guess they have to, well, I don't know, have to, but because it's a I don't know, when do you... Yeah, something like that, yeah. With that as a screen grab or something.
Cet avion, c'est le CM170. Il est de la patrouille tranchant. Le CM170, c'est un Fouga Magistère. Et là, maintenant, ça qu'on parle, c'est cet avion qui parle.
I think they're going to extend the wings very close prior to the display and not now. Just because it's sort of like part of the whole, well, part of the whole display, you would say. The size of the edges on that thing, right? Just insane, yeah. Size of it. Just... Coming back, mate? Are you coming back? Graffiti. This is part of the Patrouille de France, course before. The 777-9 X. We have the Max.
Cette patrouille qui est présente dans de très nombreux meetings aériens et également dans des manifestations aéronautiques, des événements privés, que ce soit en France ou à l'étranger, maintenant qui fut récemment mis en pour évoluer durant un concert de E1. C'est
That's the case of this one. These company wants to preserve vintage planes and share them with the world. Today, this is the biggest French company specializing in planes.
Putting a lot of paraffin, the old boy. Done. Great livery. Long canopy on it, isn't it? Look at that Boeing 777X lined up, like DC-8 in the background, folks. That DC-8 was a big jet back in the day. Look at it now. Okay, Max moving into position. 777 will do the same. Okay, LEAP powered Max. Demonstrate the short takeoff and landing capability of this one, no doubt. Lots of flags. Great wing light arrangement on the Max. Multiple LEDs, a bit like the eye of a fly. Other interesting features about the Max, taking it from the Dreamliner. Twin boom lights on the tail. APU tail, the aft section of the tail's been completely revised. Squared off as opposed to cylindrical as it was before. Actually, sorry, cylindrical as opposed to squared off as it was before. More Dreamliner-esque, because obviously that's, in terms of wind tunnel testing, that's proven to be a far better, more efficient airflow over the back of the wing. Split scimitar wing. Not new to the 737 program, but revised quite, revised quite a lot for the Max.
Here we go. Those winglets down yet, son. Don't put them down yet. I think it's going to possibly extend the winglets.
That locking pin in place, and by goodness me is it a big locking pin. I'd say it's about 3-inch diameter pin. Well, maybe not quite that much, maybe a 2.5-inch diameter pin, but the locking pin is something else. Here we go.
Mas é muito bacana que os caras manobram em cima de você, só de militar.
In a typical airline configuration, this flight serves 460 passengers with a range of more than 30,000 kilometers. Compared to the previous 777 AVIATIon X with a lot of passengers from the Boeing the global package plans
Já tá girando lá, já tá girando.
Sensors. Yeah. Seen that down at Toulouse quite a lot. Is what? Oh, mate. An F-35 Lightning display, something we've never caught before. A400M moving into position. This should be, okay, let's just cross our fingers. So we've seen the F-35s up at Lakenheath with the United States Air Force, but to date, I don't know if we've seen one displayed. Hold on to your hats, boys. Open the windows, crank the sound up, get the bass on, wake the neighbours up. I hope they're not on nights or days, but nights, isn't it? No, if they're on night. Yeah, nights. That works out, doesn't it? Anyway. So let's see what this lady or gentleman does. These guys going to stop talking? Sorry, man. yakking away. Oh, what can you do? It's a nice now. Big Jet TV wouldn't be Big Jet TV without a lamppost, would it? Specially positioned just for us. Keeping an eye on it, folks, don't worry about it. We won't miss it. It's actually raining, so that's what we're getting at, why we're getting that moisture on the wings. Just see that power surge, man. guessing this is an A variant, isn't it? Not a B variant. If it's a B variant, they do a hover demo, wouldn't they? A ceramic, see that ceramic lining inside that engine, man. Just crazy piece of equipment. Okay, looks like 390's on the push. It's got to be the #1 APU design ever. very interesting, folks, that the engines for the C390 are actually IAE engines. So obviously still being manufactured, those engines, because, you know, Embraer offering that military transporter as a current option with the IAE engine. Obviously very successful, huge, obviously very successful engine for many, many years. That's all about short takeoff and landings. Watch this thing. Airbus's A400M. Look at the pitch of the engines. That's because I think the angle of attack is they're leveled out once the aircraft is in the right, in flight. Nicely covered there by big flag. Marcos KC390 Embraer Brazilian Pride. There we go. Been displaying with Embraer for a number of years. KC390. Yeah, multi-bladed the A400, big set of carbon blades on it. This thing will go up in like less than 500 yards. Here we go. Counteracting blades, I guess that's to counteract torque. Not contra-rotating, is it? It's because that would be same blade on the same shaft, but
Cinza sobre cinza agora.
Cela est régulièrement adapté à la système d'opération en Asie-Pacifique avec la mission Pégase et à le déploiement d'un demi-gramme de 3 rafales et d'une centaine d'aviateurs pendant les 72 heures. Cette année, ce seront 10 rafales, 5 aviateurs, 4 applications aériennes projetées de la
Tem a manha de posar pra foto, né?
so lucky that the There's his eggs there, isn't it? I love that geezer's egg.
Engagés sur des missions d'aide aux populations, comme ce fut le cas lors du séisme du 6 février. Merci.
No more Hercules, are there? They've, you know, I dare say there are operators who are still continuing to operate the Hercules, but the RAF, I think, now have discontinued operations. It's not the end of the Hercules, but obviously with the RAF it is. Moving on to the A400. C-17 as well. Don't they have a mixed fleet C-17 and A400s? I'm not sure. Guys move more and more. Further that Wow, look at that bank angle, man. Traffic attention. Tape?
No, tape.
First up, I think they're waiting to move some light aircraft around at the moment before the KC-390 makes its way out. Well, how about that then, folks? It's been good, isn't it? Apart from our little escapade. C-27 does a much better performance, David can say. Oh yeah. Twin engine C-27. Yeah, I mean, you know, you can say. I think it all depends on the pilot, doesn't it, and the operation itself. It's a twin engine, the C-390, jet-powered IAE engine. Interesting that they chose that as an engine platform. Very reliable and successful power plant. It obviously works well with the airframe. Everyone mentioning about the Profit Hunters graphics. Actually, they've had over the years they've had quite a few display jets and of course they're all painted by hand as well, not literally with a paintbrush, folks, airbrushed by hand. It's IAE, standing for International Aero Engines. It's a joint venture aero engine manufacturing exercise, and a very successful one at that. Pratt & Whitney are the owners. MTU Airlines Aero Engine, 25%. Japanese Aero Engine Corporation, also 25%. At one stage, IAE was also engaged in the development of the Superfan, a geared turbofan derived from the V2500, and that is what this is, the V2500. However, the work was terminated during the late 80s. By then, an extension agreement had been so the original collaboration involved Pratt & Whitney, Rolls-Royce, Japanese Engine Corporation, and MTU Aero Engines of Germany. Fiat also involved, Fiat Aviation. Okay, you are clear for display. Obviously there's been a number of different variants of the engine, and it's been scaled up over time.
Le nouvel avion que vous allez voir, c'est le KC-390. Il est fabriqué par Air et il va faire des démonstrations avec des
So this is the Millennium, if anyone's interested to know. Medium-sized twin-engine jet-powered military transport aircraft. Isn't Wikipedia a wonderful thing? Designed and produced by Embraer. Range of 6,000, just over 6,000 kilometres. Top speed rate is 150 kilometres an hour. Wingspan of 34 metres. Weight 24. Well, weight is 23,600 kilos. 24 tons. What's that, GP? Sorry. Yeah, go ahead. Wow, that's pretty crazy. Turn and burn it, innit? No messing. Power brakes in. Oh yeah, like that. Sitting on the brakes. Full power. Ramp operation, able to decant their load very quickly. Short, even grass strips. I'm guessing this thing's capable of landing on and taking off from, operating out of, should I say. Rough strips. Dutch Air Force shown, or Dutch Defence showing an interest in this aircraft. Wow, look at that thing stop, mate. And now, ladies and gentlemen, the preferences. Tim Rotunda, stick or yoke? It's a stick actually, Tim. Side stick operated the C390. Big open cockpit, all glass, as most of these aircraft are. This has got a great cockpit. You missed it earlier on. We were on board the flight deck of this very aircraft. Very open plan. I tell you what, though, from a customer point of view, flying on it is just an amazing experience. Purely because it's like flying on a private jet. To be honest with you, I mean the way these guys have got their business class seating up front staggered is just fantastic. Big wide seats as well. At least on this aircraft in their configuration, cabin config. Fresh, with the paint still on it. Porter Airlines announcing an order with Embraer today, confirming into the Canadian market, folks. Get those brakes off, son. Now you're going to get to see this wing. Most efficient single aisle jet in the world, folks. Yeah, look at that thing go up. Wow! Go on, son. Wow, man. Like a London City departure. Not quite, but look at that wing profile, man. High aspect ratio. So efficient. Fully revised wingtip. Porter entered into service this year actually with the E2. Sorry, my mistake on that one. But new orders placed. Only 4 years in commercial service this aircraft, believe it or not. Vidaru being the launch customer, we've seen at Heathrow. So I'm guessing that's more orders from Boeing, would that be right?
E195-E2, the largest order Embraer's new generation E2 series. This plane is a logical
Oh, we got a viewer who flew on the Porter E195-E2. So yeah, just more orders. There's that wing. I say just more orders, but
yes, all E2s have fourth generation fly-by-wire flight controls and are completely E-enabled.
all fly-by-wire now.
Maintenance, all the functions of the airplanes are now connected. Like the E2, the Lion has a very typical anti-capability, always looking for a prey. Today, prey is the market. The E2 is for unmanned and unmanned. Indeed, the E2s are known for their ability to add profits and fit everywhere they fly. Major airlines, charter flights, or private aviation, the aircraft will be configured up to 146 seats. Its maximum takeoff weight is 61,000 kilograms, carrying 400 passengers. The E2's range is up to 5,000 kilometers.
Royal Jordania's just ordered a load as well. A couple of weeks back, saw that announced. Of course, KLM, a big operator, which is good. Tim Rotunda. Yeah, well, I guess the yoke is just a proven system, and of course, to modify the aircraft to the point of having a side stick would involve a tremendous amount of refinement and redesign, wouldn't it? I think I'm right in saying that. Jimmy, I flew on the E2 from Helvetic a couple of months back. Very nice aircraft indeed. Yeah, that's who I flew with, Helvetic. Did a go around as well. It was on the Helvetic E2, wasn't it, GB? Andrew Hickinbottom, very impressive. We've got more noise from taxiing planes than that thing throwing itself around. Yeah, 70-odd% quieter than its predecessor with the CF34 engines. So, yeah, understandably, massively quieter and highly efficient as well. Lou Dehaan. Good day to you, Lou. Seen Lou Dehaan for a while, have we? Remember the face. PW1900G, yeah, Lloyd Bell. The Pratt & Whitney 1900G. Real edition, nice Embraer. Steve Stibbons, thank you, Steve. Lovely thing to do. Has gifted 5 big jet TU membership. Roger Anson, I missed it. What was the twin-engine cargo aircraft? That aircraft that you're looking at there, it's actually a military transporter, and it is the C390, Embraer C390, KC390. Tower Israel, big mama noise of the C390 Millennium. Crazy, isn't it? Because it's got the same engines as the 320 CEO. Melody. Those sounds that you hear coming from the engines are pretty standard with the Pratt & Whitney engine. Tim Rotunda, yes, the Federal Aviation Authority would obviously want to see. It's hard enough getting any kind of modifications through the FAA and other regulatory bodies. Vamos, I think what makes the E2 attractive would be its economy seating config 2.2. From a customer perspective, no squishiness. Vamos, if you saw earlier on, I did have a wander around the aircraft inside the cabin, and my goodness me, was it comfortable. I've flown on it and it is extremely comfortable from the point of view that you just don't feel boxed in like you do with a 3.3 configuration. You know, they can fit more seats in there, up to 146, depending on the density of the route. But something like that, it just gives you a real good experience, and especially the staggered seating up front. Mark B, thank you very much indeed. Off to work. Thanks, folks. Kujro Alam, the change from yoke to side stick isn't that significant, as is from conventional controls to fly-by-wire. The 787 is a fully fly-by-wire with a yoke. Flight control logic is closer to the Airbus than the 777. I see what you're saying, Kujro, because it is a fly-by-wire system. There are no cable routings and all that sort of thing. That's what he's saying. So yeah, theoretically, it is literally using the same systems underneath the yoke as it would be on the side stick, so you know, the connections and all that sort of thing. So yeah, I guess you could quite relatively simply redesign it, but it is a case of getting it through the FAA and all that. Rene Corticas, 10 years back, he visited the show. Luck 897 is in heaven. Steve Stibbons, thank you so much. This is a great show. Thank you. Roger Anderson, Michael Morgan. Who makes the engines for the Prophet Hunter, Michael? It is Pratt & Whitney, who are the exclusive manufacturers for the Prophet Hunter, the E195-E2, as well as the 190-E2. Birdman. Jimmy got that Indigo and Airbus 500 320 Neos. Montal Van tuning in from the Philippines. Good day to you, Montal Van. Michael Morgan, Steve Simmons. Andrew Hickenbottom, not my words, but the words of Top Gear magazine. Okay. Let's just see what he said then. Oh my God, it's going off now, isn't it? Oh, there we go. Paul Skilling, thank you, Paul. Robert Mendez. Jerry, where is the E195 built? Brazil, I think it is. Manufacturing plant in Brazil. Mank Red. Well, the weekend isn't over yet. What day is it today, Jim? Why is he saying thanks for the great weekend? Was that? Oh, I don't know. Anyway, yeah. Real MCJ is the air show over. Well, the air displays for now, we believe, are over. There was talk of another one going out. Melody got her space shuttle now. Montal Van, good day to you. Steve Luscombe, thank you, Stephen. Russy. DP, thank you very much indeed. Hans, Olaf, Moore. We're not sure what we're doing for the rest of the week, folks. We know that you guys miss your midweek show. Kind of like it. It's kind of locked into everybody's psyche, and of course, and it's the summer solstice as well. So there is a potential that I might be leaving here tonight, coming back, doing a show in London on Wednesday, and then flying back here for Saturday, for the air show here on Saturday. To be confirmed, folks. But I think it's probably worthy, I would imagine, to do that. Of course, being as it's public day, we will have a lot more display aircraft. We've got a couple of historical military aircraft. The Spitfire, is it a P-51, the Mustang. Maurice Vergusen, one of my favourite jet fighters, Saab F-37 Viggen. That's what flew earlier, wasn't it? The Saab Viggen, was it? I think. No, that was okay. Sorry. Typhoon's flying on Saturday as well. So I think that's and Paul Skilling, yes, correctly saying Westerlies on Wednesday. Roger, that's better palms, plant some trees, Jerry. I know. Eagle Atlanta, don't see this anywhere except Big Jet TV, thanks to Embraer, and great job, Jerry and Jilly. Thank you very much indeed. Jazz, not possible popping down to Toulouse for a day. No. John Hughes, I know, John. We all would love to see it, wouldn't we? There we go. 4:15 in the afternoon. I think we're going to leave it there, folks. Thank you once again to Embraer and to all the fantastic folks here for looking after us. Without them, we wouldn't have had this amazing vantage point, and we are going to plan to come back on Saturday, folks. Going to fly down here on Friday, stay over Friday night, in a very local bed and breakfast, and then obviously back for Sunday as well, for the Sunday show. And I might get a little bit of rest next week, and Gilly as well. But yeah, I really have not had time to feet haven't touched the ground since got back from New York. So you know, still quite tired really, but you know, we do what we do, and look forward to seeing you on Wednesday, I guess we could say. I'm going to leave you in the accompaniment of two beautiful aeroplanes there, folks, while we say our goodbyes. Thank you very much indeed, everybody, for your kind words as well. Mirrors, yes, if Charles de Gaulle did have a decent... right, folks, that's it. And thanks, Joe, by the way, Joe Lethbridge, and all the team from Gravity as well. What a bunch of great guys they are. Thank you so much. Look after yourselves, and we'll see you Wednesday. All the best. Cheers. Bye.